If you know yourself, you find that you are Brahman, the illimitable, indivisible Absolute. And it is Brahman alone that knows Brahman as such. This true self is of the nature of being, illimitable, unborn, imperishable, uncreated, unformed being. This true self is of the nature of illimitable, indivisible, immutable consciousness, inherent in which is the non-objective knowledge, the non-conceptual knowledge of itself. This true self is of the nature of innate bliss, uncaused, unconditioned, non-dependent, and utterly self-existent. Satchidananda, being, consciousness, bliss. 3 terms to describe one ineffable, indefinable reality. The very nature of existence itself, which is the Absolute, Brahman. The instruction in the Chandogya Upanishad is Tattvamasi, that you are. It signifies that that alone is what you are, and that is entirely you. Apart from that real self, there is no other kind of self. And since it is non-objective and indivisible, it is not apart from you, as if there would be the self and yourself who could know or not know it. Because of its very nature, and because knowledge of the self is the knowledge of reality, one should know one's own self. Who is it that should know oneself? Who is it that should realize the self, realize Brahman? It is for this purpose that the Maharshi's consistent instruction in self-knowledge was that one should inquire with an inquiry that is non-objective in character, that is, an inquiry into one's own nature. Who is it that exists? You exist, and you know that you exist. And this existence is invariable, and likewise its intrinsic knowledge of itself. What is the nature of this one? Yourself. Obviously, it cannot be the body, which is an objective appearance in one's experience. The one who knows the body, who knows about seeing and hearing and touching and smelling and tasting, cannot possibly be the body or the senses. Who is it? What's your own nature? The one who knows thought in all its various permutations, which we commonly call the mind. The unknown knower of all that is known, as is referred to in the Upanishads. Who is that? If we think in terms of myself, and there is another, the self, what is the definition of myself? Or at a lower level, if one thinks in terms of myself and there are other selves, what are the definitions of these selves? You will find they're a mirror image of the definition of yourself. What is the definition of yourself? If it's merely the body, then there's yourself and other selves. But can you be the body? If you are not the body, where are you located? And what is the significance of birth and death? Inquire within yourself, deeply. Who am I? To know your own nature. This is not a matter of mere thinking. Thought cannot capture, define, or reveal what you are. Every limitation which through imagination is superimposed upon your own nature is just as Sri Bhagavan mentioned, the thought of it. But you are not a thought. You are innately free from thought, transcendent of thought. Who is the knower? This cannot be studied as if it were a topic. You are not a topic. True knowledge is immediate experience. That is, it is not divided between subject and object. True knowledge is inherent in being. True knowledge is not a possession of anyone. It is neither gained nor lost. Just as being is neither gained nor lost, neither appears nor disappears. Likewise, real happiness or bliss is neither gained nor lost. For it is the very nature of what is within, and not something that comes and goes as an occurrence or an event or some objective thing. Therefore, Sri Ramana said, the only way to recover the bliss that was never actually lost is to know the being that you are, or self that you always really are. If you think there is something else, what is the definition of I? That this aspect of your experience will always correspond to the definition of the I. Between I and this plays out all the illusion of duality. To be free of the notions of I and this is to abide in the non-dual truth, Advaita. That is the final knowledge, Vedanta. To understand for yourself what is being indicated by the previous few minutes of prattle, inquire within yourself. Know your own nature.